Good morning, greetings, friends, and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I am your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I use nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and sometimes deadly medical procedures if you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your health and vitality and well-being, and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin. You have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body. You are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health challenge. That is why we are here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 33 years of practicing pharmacy, I've seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes, hypertension, obesity, skin diseases like psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, acne, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds, recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle. But what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure. Because the human biological system is always a healing system, a regenerating system. It is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis. And while some folks may call that a miracle, it really is just the way the body works. If you have questions about health, nutrition, prescription drugs, if you want to wean yourself off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, we are here for you on The Bright Side. 844-236-6010 is our number. If you have questions about the longevity products or business or health challenges you or a loved one may be dealing with, if you'd like to wean yourself off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, we can help you. If you want to, if you have questions about our True Skin Health products or common or success story or something you may have heard about or read about, 844-236-6010. And, of course, if you just want to contribute to the conversation, 844-236-6010 is our number on The Bright Side. You can purchase longevity products by calling 866-735-2470 or by going to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. If you want to start a business that helps people change their lives, if you want to start a life-changing business, a business that will change your life, a business that will change the lives of others. And when we say life-changing, I am not exaggerating. It's indescribable the kind of pleasure and joy you can get from a business where you help people get off their medication, where you help people change their, lower their, lose 100 pounds or 150 pounds, or lower their blood pressure or blood sugar. Or it's just an amazingly rewarding business on many levels. If it sounds interesting to you, please call 866-735-2470, 866-735-2470, or head to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. And if you are the kind of person who is just sick and tired of baloney in skincare, if you've been using skincare products and not getting satisfaction, not getting the look that you want, not getting the skin that you want from your skincare products, you owe it to yourself to take a look at truthtreatments.com and check out our True Skin Health products, all developed in my compounding pharmacy. And I've learned a thing or two about how you treat the skin in the last 30 plus years since I've been in the skincare business. And the True Treatment formulations are the culmination of everything I've learned in 38 years, actually, going on 38 years of being in the skin health business. Truthtreatments.com got new products as well as holiday specials at truthtreatments.com, and a blog, also a skin health blog at truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. Thank you for listening to The Bright Side, friends, and for being here. We are talking about the skin, and we've been talking about the skin for a while. We're talking about the skin on from two perspectives. Number one, from the perspective of it is an icon for the rest of the body. It is emblematic of the rest of the body for a lot of reasons. We can see the skin, so it kind of gives us a window to what's happening inside the body. But the same mechanisms that break down the body on the inside break down the body on the outside. And if you have a skin problem, you got an internal problem. There's no getting away. Well, for the most part. Occasionally, I suppose, you could have contact issues. Latex. Some people have problems with latex. I've actually seen gluten allergies on the hands. Concrete dermatitis. There's various things that can happen topically. But for the most part, when you have a skin issue, you have an internal issue. And that's why if you have a skin issue, you want to start working with your inside biochemistry. Second thing about the skin, for the second perspective of the skin, is just that it's the skin. It's on the outside of our body. We want it to look good. So number one, it's connected to the inside. It's giving a signal about what's happening inside the body. And number two, we want our skin to look good. And there's a lot of evolutionary biology reasons for that. I talked about it yesterday. I'm not going to get into it again. We want our skin to look good. Problem is, we don't really understand the skin. And we don't understand the body. We don't understand the skin in the sense that we just look at it as a homogeneous thing, a surface on the outside. But like the rest of the body, it's made up of cells and stuff. When you're sick at the level of the cell, not the level of the stuff. I hope that distinction is not getting lost on us. It's really, really important to understanding the body. Cells and stuff. Cells and extracellular matrix. Cells and stuff. The body's made up like raisin bread, just like raisin bread is made up of raisins and bread. The body's made up of cells and stuff. People give me a hard time sometimes from that analogy, but I like that analogy. It really is descriptive, even though we got a lot more cells than a loaf of raisin bread has raisins. But the idea is the same. When we are putting product on our skin, for the most part, we're putting product on the stuff. It's rare that we even know, or that companies even know, skincare companies even know about this distinction. If you understand this distinction, that puts you at the tip of the spear, on the leading edge of people who understand how the body works, cells and stuff. This really important distinction. Now, it's always internally, the cells get the wherewithal to do their business from the blood. That's why the blood is so important. Also, the lymph is very important. The lymph delivers hormones and fatty vitamins and essential fats to the cells. Lymph is really, really, really underappreciated. I did a moment of truth today, by the way, on the lymph. If you're interested in being put on the mailing list for our Moment of Truth, send an email to Robin and Truth Treatments. I'm not sure when that'll be up, when we'll be doing those, but they're up on our Facebook page, The Moments of Truth. The Bright Side with Pharmacist Ben Facebook page. Anyway, I did a Moment of Truth this morning on the importance of the lymph, on how important it is to move the lymph. Between the lymph and the blood, you've got the delivery system for all the raw materials to the cells. But on the skin, and it's true about the skin too, the skin cells, the collagen-making cells, and the skin cells that make the moisture factors and create the barrier, the surface barrier, those are fed, like any cells, they're fed through the lymph and the blood. If you have a lymphatic condition, it's going to show up on the skin as boils and cysts, or acne. If you have a blood condition, it's going to show up as eczema or psoriasis, or acne for that matter, anything. So the blood and the lymph are the primary way the cells get fed on the skin, like in the rest of the body. But, this is a big but, with the skin, you can feed it from the outside in. So like any cells, the skin cells are getting fed from the blood and the lymph, and they're getting detoxified and they're getting oxygenated. But with the skin, you have access from the other direction in a way that you don't with other ingredients. Now, it's with other cell types. Now, it's not like anything you put on the skin is going to feed the cells, but there are a couple of things. There are a few things that will feed the cells, the skin cells, from the outside in. That, in a nutshell, tells you what you need to know to have beautiful skin topically, is to try to figure out how you can take care of those cells. Just like any other part of the body, it's about taking care of the cells. And with the skin, we can do it from the outside in with a couple of key ingredients and a couple of strategies. Now, there's a couple of key ingredients that you can put on top of the skin that will actually get taken up, and it will actually change the nature of a skin cell. That's vitamin C and vitamin A. And this is what makes them singularly important. Nothing is more important than vitamin C and vitamin A for the skin in terms of a topical ingredient, because you can get in from the outside. From the outside, you can get to the cells. That is unbelievable, especially, well, I don't want to say especially vitamin A, but that one really, that's a hormone. You can actually get hormonal genetic changes with vitamin A. So vitamin C and vitamin A are actually delivered to the cell through topical application if you know what you're doing. That's where I came up with my Truth Treatments. They're delivery systems for vitamin C and vitamin A. But there's other strategies you can use too to make the cell healthier, to upregulate. Favorite word in biochemistry, upregulate. That's what we're looking at. We're looking at upregulating, making things happen. And there's a couple other strategies you can use. And that's how we want to take care of our skin. We want to use strategies that leverage the cell's ability to grow, to upregulate the cells. And I am Pharmacist Ben. We'll be back on the bright side right after this. Got lines open, 844-236-6010. right, we're back on the bright side. 844-236-6010 is our number, and we have lines open, 866-735-2470 for longevity products. And to join the Brightside Ben team, or you can head to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com and order products off the, sign up to join the Brightside Ben team and order products off the websites. We also have blog posts, news stories, videos, free information, lots of good health information. My moments of truth are now posted on criticalhealthnews.com, and you can also head to our Facebook page. Thank you to Nasima for setting that one up, the Bright Side with Pharmacist Ben. And just sign up for, I guess, follow it, however, whatever the appropriate terminology is on Facebook. We have videos, moments of truth, and also various posts and commentary. That's on our Facebook page. Also have our Truth Skin Health page. We have holiday specials and new products up at truthtreatments.com. Everything your skin needs and nothing it doesn't. We've been talking about the skin now for a while as it regards its in its symbolic nature as an icon for the rest of the body, as a symbol, or as a demonstration of the rest of the body. The skin is easy to see. It's easy to see when there's problems in the skin in a way that it isn't on on the inside parts of the body. The skin is also an organ of beauty. We all want our skin to look good, but we don't really know what we're doing. We practice hope for the best strategies. We just rub stuff on and hope for the best. The vast majority of us do not understand the skin, and thus we do not understand how to take care of our skin, and thus we spend lots of money and waste lots of time and go have lots of misery with products and strategies and surgeries and devices. It's just craziness. All the different things that are available for us to take care of our skin. And we don't need a lot. The reason we don't need a lot of things to take care of our skin is the same reason why we don't need a lot of stuff to take care of our body. Because it's all about the cell. And the cell doesn't need a lot of stuff. It needs nutrition, it needs oxygen, and it needs a clean place to do its work, whether it's a hepatocyte in the liver or an osteocyte in the bone or a cardiocyte in the heart or a keratinocyte in the skin or a fibroblast that makes collagen. It just needs the same things. We just got to figure out a way to get it to them. You do it through food. That's obvious. You do it through food, and you keep the blood clean. You do it through food and clean blood and breathing and clean blood, of course, and keeping toxins out. And you do the same thing for the skin. Now, topically, you can put things on top of the skin. This is so cool. You can put things on top of the skin that will literally address the cell deeper down. But you got to have a strategy. You got to have a formulation strategy that allows you to deliver it. And you got to have the right ingredients. And that's where my Truth Treatments come in. That's why I came up with the Truth Treatments. Truth Treatments are a way for you to deliver the key signaling molecules to the keratinocyte, that is the skin cell, the fibroblast, that's the cell that makes the collagen. That's what you're targeting. Now, there's other things you can do that don't exactly feed the skin cells, but they stimulate the skin cells, they upregulate the skin cells, and that's where alpha hydroxy acids come in. Acids, you hear a lot about acid. You hear a lot of people who don't understand chemistry talking about, oh, you don't want to have acid in your blood. Cancer loves acid. We got to alkalinize. I was talking to Barry last week. Barry, I don't know if you're listening here, saying, what is this about, I think it was Barry. What is this about alkalinity and alkalinized water and acid, blah, blah, blah. Well, here's the deal. I'm going to simplify for you and present acid in a way that will have us appreciate acid and understand it in a scientific kind of way rather than in a colloquial internet meme kind of way. So, acid represents stress, it represents toxicity, and it represents stimulation. See, in the body, stress and toxicity, when we're healthy, turn things on. Stress turns on anti-stress mechanisms. Toxicity turns on detoxification mechanisms. So learning to understand how to leverage the stress response is extremely important. That's what exercise is all about. Leveraging, taking advantage of, exploiting the body's stress response. The body is so brilliant that when toxicity builds up or stress builds up, the anti-stress and detoxification systems kick in. Acid, at its most basic level, is a stressor because it's a waste product. So the body has learned to sense acid as a sign that, hey, we got to get moving. We got to get going. This is why when you're lifting weights and you feel the burn, you're actually feeling acid. It makes you grow more muscle. It makes you grow better muscle. Muscle develops better under conditions of acidity as long as that acidity is balanced. The problem isn't the acidity, it's the too much acidity. When a cell is doing its business, it's producing acid. If it's balanced, I'll tell you how to balance it here in a second. If it's balanced, then you get the benefits of the acid. If it's not balanced, you burn out. I hope that's not too complicated. If you got too much acid, you burn out. Acid burns. It makes things move. If you have it balanced, then you can take advantage of the growth-inducing effects of the acid. And I'm saying balanced. If you're a chemist out there, it's not really the right word, but it's close enough to give us a picture of what's happening. When the acid is balanced with alkaline, you get an electrical flow, and that's where growth comes in. Acid is, without getting too much chemistry here, or too much physics really, acid is protons. P-R-O, protons. The balancing act of acids, the alkaline side, is electrons. Now, I know it's not exactly that, but it's close enough for us to understand here. It's pretty close, actually. Protons and electrons go together. They form a current. When acid is balanced with electrons, which are supposed to come from food, by the way, that's the best. That's why we want to eat, is we get electrons from our food, good food anyway. When you eat correctly and do supplements, the supplements help the electrons move. Then you get the electrons balancing out the protons, the stressors. And this is true inside the body and outside the body. You exercise, your body generates lots of protons. You come home and do your supplements, the electrons balance out the protons, and you get flow, you get current, you get electrical energy. The reason I'm talking about this with the skin is because you could do the same thing on the skin. This is what alpha hydroxy acids do. Glycolic acid, lactic acid, malic acid, citric acid, tartaric acid. They're all over the place. These acids, these alpha hydroxy acids, are stupendously valuable for the skin because they deliver protons. Same thing like lactic acid delivers it to your muscles when you're lifting weights. Lactic acid is an alpha hydroxy acid that works inside the body. On the outside, you put lactic acid. On the outside of the body, you get the same thing. You get the acid effects as long as you're following it up with electrons. If you just put acid on the skin, that doesn't give you the good benefits. You got to follow it up with some source of electrical energy to leverage it. And that's where electrolytes come in. You always want to, after you've put in your alpha hydroxy acids, that's when you put on your electrolytes. That's when you put on your vitamin C, which helps the electrical energy move. After you put acid on the skin, alpha hydroxy acids, glycolic acid, we'll say, or lactic acid, you follow it up with vitamin C and electrolytes. You follow it up with the electrons. If you follow up the protons with electrons, you get electrical flow. It's called lightning, by the way. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-1610 is our number. We'll be back after this. Okay, we're back on the bright side with lines open, 844-236-6010. I am Pharmacist Ben. If you're interested in checking out our longevity products, go to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. Take a specially long look at the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Best formulation I've ever had. And in 30-plus years of formulating products myself, Beyond Tangy Tangerine is the best formulation I've ever seen. The kind of results people get from the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, if you're not even going to do any longevity products, just get the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. There is nothing like it in the health food store. There's nothing like it on the internet. It is a unbelievably packed, easy to absorb nutritional supplement, and it's ideal for people who are extremely fragile. That is elderly folks. The best Christmas present you could ever give somebody who you know is in a nursing home is the gift of Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Just buy it as Christmas gifts, let alone using it yourself to change your life, especially if you've never experimented with a nutritional supplement program. That's the great gift of the human body. The more deficient we are in nutrients, the faster our body absorbs them. Like a dry sponge sucks up more water than a wet sponge. And for most folks who've never supplemented, they're going to find themselves experiencing dramatically noticeable results when they get on Beyond Tangy Tangerine, when they get on any nutritional supplement program, really. But Beyond Tangy Tangerine, because it's liquid, goes right to work. That the density plus the liquid. Always want to go nutritionally dense with your supplements and with your foods, nutritionally dense, and liquids are always best absorbed. That's why soups and vegetable juices and stews are so important. Liquid protein. Beyond Tangy Tangerine and chicken soup are the two most important things you could give somebody in a nursing home or recovering from surgery or who has, God forbid, dementia. Chicken soup, homemade, and Beyond Tangy Tangerine. All right, 844-236-6010 is our number, and we do have lines open for you. We'll get your calls here momentarily. This is from Medscape from this morning. Aspirin, the key to expanding access to effective migraine treatment. Aspirin is an effective option for acute treatment and prevention of recurrent migraine attacks, particularly among patients who can't tolerate or afford newer, much more expensive medications. In other words, aspirin works as well as the prescription drugs do. Now, I'm not saying that you want to necessarily use aspirin and prescription drugs to take care of headaches, but if you have a migraine headache, that might be something to think about. If you get migraine headaches, that might be something to think about until you figure things out. But you do want to figure things out if you got a migraine headache. By figuring things out, I mean you want to work with your hormones, specifically estrogen. Also, probably insulin is involved, and food issues. Those are the major issues with migraine headaches, is food issues, and they're all, of course, related. Food issues, estrogen issues, and insulin issues. The ketogenic diet is ideal for folks who suffer from migraines. It's a low-sugar diet, low-calorie diet. Obviously, you guys all know that, and the ketogenic diet is just fabulous for everything. Also, if you get migraine headaches, you want to start working with your estrogen. Estrogen is a big problem for folks, not because of estrogen itself, but because it accumulates under conditions of detoxification system burden, liver burden, intestinal burden. We don't process estrogen correctly. Estrogen gets a lot of bad press because it's associated with a lot of health challenges. Most chronic diseases affect women. Depression is mostly a female issue. Alzheimer's is largely a female issue. Estrogen is a culprit in a lot of these health challenges, particularly autoimmunity. If you have any autoimmune condition or any macro-inflammatory condition where the body is inflaming from head to toe, that's not there, where there's no injury, you're looking at an estrogen problem. If you have endometriosis or female reproductive health issues, you're looking at an estrogen problem. Migraine headaches, largely an estrogen problem, although, like I say, food allergies, food intolerances, and blood sugar are involved. That's a triad right there. That's a chemistry triad right there, or a physiochemistry triad of disease right there. The digestive system, estrogen, and insulin. If you could focus your attention, if you're sick and you focus your attention on those 3 points, and by focus your attention, I mean read up everything you could possibly find, become an expert on estrogen, become an expert on the digestive system, become an expert on insulin and blood sugar. No matter what your health challenge is, if you focus on those 3 points and address those 3 points and learn about those 3 points, you can do dramatic things for your body to reverse and recover no matter what your health challenge is, without medication, without drugs. Digestive system, the blood sugar system, and estrogen. Now, talking about the triangle of disease, those are very similar to the triangle of disease because estrogen is kind of like a stress hormone. And when I talk about estrogen, when I talk about the third point on the triangle of disease, I talk about the adrenal thyroid complex. Estrogen is involved there. So that's basically the triangle of disease. So aspirin helps because it's an anti-inflammatory. It works with the body's defense system. And if you're in absolute misery, you may want to consider that. But best when you have a defensive response, of course, is to figure out what the heck is causing that defensive response. All right, let me do one more here, and then we'll get your phone calls. I meant to talk about the cell membrane today. We'll talk about that in our coming Brightside episodes. The membrane is reading the environment that the cell is sitting in, and it's communicating. This is so important. It's communicating to the inside. This is where epigenetics come from. The cell membrane is the epigenetic structure of the cell. It's changing the genetics based on what it's reading. So the genetics are important, but there's something more important than the genetics, and that's the stuff that the cell is reading, the membrane is reading. That's where epigenetics is. Epigenetics actually refers to the interaction between the nutrients or the signaling molecules that the cell is sitting in and the cell. I was reading about MTHFR deficiency. A lot of you guys have heard of this, MTHFR deficiency. 40 to 60% of Americans have some degree of MTHFR deficiency. This is a deficiency. If for those of you who don't know, a lot of you know about this, but for those of you who don't know, this is a deficiency in an enzyme that helps you use folic acid. And so people think that they've got this horrible genetic thing where they can't use folic acid, they can't make the enzyme, blah, blah, blah. The whole point of this deficiency is not that you're somehow cursed. It's that your body, your biochemistry is suppressed. Your genetics have changed to account for a deficiency in nutrients. And so now you're not making the right enzymes. Everything's slowing down. The problem with the MTHFR deficiency is if you give yourself all the nutrients you need and you give the cell everything it needs, you won't have that deficiency. The reason so many people have it is because we're all stressed and nutritionally deficient. So the key, if you have some kind of so-called genetic issue like this, is to work epigenetically. That's where epigenetics comes from. You don't want to feel condemned to your genetics because in large measure, they're all controlled. The genetics are controlled epigenetically. This is an article on from the journal Molecular Science. Epigenetics of subcellular structures in the risk of comorbidity. Comorbidity is when diseases go together. In other words, you change the genetics in the brain or in the nerve cells, you get the same kind of genetic change in the heart cells, and you get a comorbidity. That's why comorbidities, the same nutritional deficiency, will cause two completely different illnesses in the same person because it's working epigenetically. It's changing the genetics of various cells. Which means the good news is you get yourself on a nutritional supplement program, you take care of all the structures. Drugs are about, the medical model, the medical strategy is about targeting structures. Nutrition is about all the structures, the body as a whole. You change the epigenetics of the entire system when you work with vitamin C or vitamin A or vitamin E. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. We're coming back with your phone calls, 844-236-6010. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back right after this. All right, we're back on The Bright Side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number, and we got lots of lines open for you. If you have questions about anything we're speaking about here today, or if you need, you want to get off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, you need a little nutritional protocol, we can help you do that. 844-236-6010, and if you have questions about our Truth Skin Health products or comments or success stories, 844-236-6010 is our number. Good morning to Brock in Washington. What's up, Brock?
Hey, how you doing, Ben?
Doing good. Where are you in Washington?
Vancouver.
Oh, very nice. Lovely.
Yeah, right on the other side of Portland. So.
I love it. All right, beautiful. One of my favorite, actually it is my favorite state, next to Colorado, we'll say, Washington State. So what's going on today, Brock?
Well, I'm calling in for my wife. She's about 7-8 months pregnant right now, and we're just wondering, can she? Oh, thank you. We're wondering if she is able to drink beyond taking tangerine.
Oh, heck yes.
If that's okay.
Heck yes. Heck yes. Nutritional. I mean, she's on a prenatal, right?
Oh yeah. She's taking all the
absolutely, absolutely. Beyond tangerine's great. In fact. That's a good question, actually, because there's a lot of nutritional supplements that you really want to make sure you're taking that the doctors don't tell you about, or you want your wife to be taking. Number one, probiotics. That's really, really important for all pregnant women. Probiotics are super duper important. You probably know this if you've listened to this program at all, but when the baby comes out of the womb, or comes out of the uterus, or comes out of the womb, I should say, it's bathed with bacteria from the mom, and if mom doesn't have the right bacteria, that's not going to happen. So make sure the mom is on good probiotics and eating fermented foods. Iodine, did I tell you about that? That's really important for mom. And then also essential fatty acids, particularly omega-3 essential fatty acids, build a smarter baby.
She's taking krill oil right now.
Good for her. So she may want more than, she's taking the capsules, right? Krill oil is just capsules. Problem with the krill oil, which is really a good oil, really, really good, but you just don't get a lot of fat in those capsules. So she might want to take like a little bit more of fish oil or something like that. How many capsules is she doing? She's not doing just one a day.
She's doing probably 2 or 3 a day. In addition, she's taking some fish oil as well.
Good.
So.
Good deal. Sounds like you know what you're doing. Is this your first baby?
Yeah, first child. Yeah, the reason why I was calling in, because on the back side of the nutritional information, it says at the bottom, consult your healthcare provider if you're pregnant. So
that's CYA, if you know what I'm saying. We have to do CYA, but it's just nutrition. It's just nutrition, and it's only going to help her. So, is she doing any other longevity supplements?
No, that's pretty much the only longevity supplement, and then she's just taking the prenatals. So.
Yeah, there's not a lot of prenatals that you can get over the counter. Have you noticed there's not a lot of prenatals that you can get over the counter? They're all like prescriptions.
I don't know. She would know better than me.
Yeah, well, there's not a lot because they're very paranoid about people taking too much. But these are nutrients. You're definitely not going to cause any problems with it.
Okay, now she's taking selenium as well. Is there a problem with taking too much selenium?
You don't want to take too much selenium. That's one of those that you can take too much of it. How is she taking it by itself, just selenium?
Yes. There's capsules. Just
why is she taking? Does she have a reason for she picked out selenium?
No, just to as a supplement. So.
Okay, gotcha. So selenium is a very important supplement, but it's kind of like you want to make sure you're taking all your minerals. Zinc is extra important. I hope if she wants to pick one for the baby and for herself, zinc is really important. In fact, zinc is just phenomenally important for so many different functions in the body, hundreds of different functions in the body, but particularly for the strength of the baby, for the baby building proteins. There's an important relationship between zinc and protein metabolism. The more sugar we eat, the less zinc we're going to have available for making protein. So if you're eating a lot of sugar, zinc is a super important mineral. She's probably ingesting a lot of calories, I'm sure. So I would be also taking zinc. Zinc picolinate, though. Whenever I say zinc, it's important that you use the picolinate. The zinc gluconate and the zinc sulfate can create some serious discomfort, digestive discomfort, nausea in particular. People throw up sometimes on zinc gluconate, and there's a lot of people who don't take zinc because they've experienced this. Zinc picolinate, Picolinate, 50 milligrams a day.
Does that have the copper?
It's always a good idea to balance out with copper. No, it doesn't have it with it, but you do want to take it with copper. Zinc and copper go together. The more zinc you're taking, the more you're going to lose copper. You definitely want to take those two together. And then copper is also very important for building blood vessels and also for the heart and the cardiovascular system, so that would benefit her too. There's so many different things. How do you have a nutritionist, or are you just kind of winging this, or your doctor's helping you?
We always listen to your show. So between the information we get from you and some other people, it's not very hard. We were just kind of curious about the Beyond Taking Tangerine. So, thank you for all the information.
You bet, buddy. Thank you, and congratulations. That's awesome.
Okay, thanks again.
All right, Brock. Bye-bye. Take care. Yeah, there's how you grow a baby is very interesting because when a woman is making a baby, she needs more nutrition, not less, and doctors will tell you not to use your supplements, and there's all kinds of warnings on supplements. Babies need supplements too. Fetuses need supplements too. Genetic, mutations occur. Sometimes Dr. Wallach will say there's no such thing as a genetic disease, and he gets people all upset. And what he's saying is the genetics depend on nutrients. A healthy genome in a developing fetus requires vitamin C and requires essential fatty acids. So it's not like there's not genetic mutations that occur that cause cystic fibrosis. Obviously there are, but what Doc's point is, and it's very well taken, is that the genetic mutations, the genetic changes that occur in the developing genome are the end result of nutritional deficiencies, among other things. Toxicity probably doesn't help, and emotional issues, and cortisol, and there's other things going on. But one of the factors that leads to the genetic issues, one of the major factors, is the lack of epigenetic signaling molecules and raw materials that help keep the genome healthy and keep the genome functioning. You guys, the genome, the genes, how genes are produced, how proteins are produced from genes, is the most mind-bogglingly jaw-droppingly, stunningly complex biochemistry you can't imagine. We can't imagine how complex it is, and a lot of things have to go right for a cell to divide. And when you have a baby growing, that's a lot of cells dividing. That's a lot of genetic activity. The genetic activity that's taking place in a fetus inside the womb is thousands of times more complicated and more rapid than the genetics that's taking place in an ordinary cell in an adult. So nutrition is extra important. It's uber important. It's always important, but it's extra important when we're growing a developing fetus. So sometimes you'll hear people say, "Oh, you shouldn't take vitamin A. You shouldn't use retinol. You shouldn't use nutritional supplements. Just a multi from what do they call prenatal multi." And by the way, the prenatal multis, those are another scam. Yeah, they do have a little bit extra nutrients, but not much, and they do have a little extra folic acid, but folate, which is important for birth defects. But that's a big-time scam, and it's kind of interesting how, on the one hand, they'll tell us we don't need nutritional supplements, but on the other hand, they give you nutritional supplements when you're pregnant because the baby needs nutritional supplements. Point being, when you're growing a baby, there's lots of things you could do for better or worse that will make your baby healthier or not healthy, and it's critical to understand. And key among these strategies is getting yourself on a good nutritional supplement program. We always need a good nutritional supplement program. We always need to be taking care of our nutrition. It's absolutely the case. But when you're sick, when you're pre-surgery or post-surgery, when you're pregnant, when you're fragile in any way, frail in any way, when you're recovering from an accident or some kind of trauma, these are when you're exercising, when you're under mental or emotional duress, if you're grieving. These are all times in your life when you extra need a nutritional supplement program. Yes, when you're grieving, you need extra nutritional supplementation. If you're starting a workout program, you need extra nutritional supplementation. If you tweak your knee and you're laid up in bed for a week, you need extra nutritional supplementation. There's times in our lives when we need extra nutritional supplementation, and understanding how to use nutritional supplementation, take care of these times in our lives when we have extra needs is critical. And no time in our life is more important, or time in a woman's life is more important for nutritional supplementation than when she's growing a baby. All right, that is all the time we have for today on The Bright Side. Thanks for listening, friends. Our websites, brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, and criticalhealthnews.com for all the longevity products. And join the team link that you can click on to join the Bright Side Ben team if you want to help change the world at the most fundamental level there is, the level of good health, and make good money at the same time. Click on the Join the Team link at brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. And please take a look at our True Skin Health products. Great Christmas presents, too, by the way, truthtreatments.com. Great Christmas presents and holiday specials and new products at truthtreatments.com. Thanks for listening to The Bright Side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Have a wonderful, beautiful, awesome, spectacular day. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye for now.